From a secret hot invisible man to monstrous adult jokes, Hotel Transylvania 4 is packed with hilarious references and Easter eggs you might have missed. Yippee-ki-yay movie lovers, I'm Jan, and in this video I'm revealing 27 deliciously dark details and hidden gags the filmmakers stuck into the movie. Some spoilers ahead of course, so take care. The movie begins with the hotel's 125th anniversary party and a spectacular array of monster performances organised by Johnny, including the werewolf kids running out on stage with a set of cards that spell out Happy Anniversary. But in their mad rush, the pups trip and tumble over each other, and as they get up, their cards now read,
"Very fine Oh no!
The scene quickly moves on, but although it looks like the name Phineas, there's a crucial gap so that P-H-I-N-N-E is pronounced fine, and that last S card was going to complete the end of another word. You can see the joke in full for just the tiniest fraction of a second later when Drac freezes the chaos at the party before he quickly rearranges the letters to read Happy Anniversary. There are some devilishly dark and gruesome little details you might have easily overlooked at the party dinner tables. There's a centerpiece that's not only made up of flowers, but also tentacles and eyeballs. Instead of ordinary forks and knives, the guests have mini axes and prongs to eat with. And then there's the salt and pepper pots, whose design appears to be inspired by the infamous Iron Maiden torture devices, given the little spikes on top and the anguished faces. When Van Helsing takes Johnny down into his lab to show him the Monsterification Ray, you can spot a ton of weird and wonderful objects from the former villain's monster hunting days, including a huge dinosaur skeleton, a mysterious humanoid skeleton with horns, a giant robot outfit, and an old diving suit he might have used to discover the ancient underwater civilization of Atlantis. And hanging from the ceiling is a replica of the aeroplane he used when hunting Drac in Hotel Transylvania 3. Also, there appears to be the body of a giant shark, which could be what happened to Sharky, one of the monster pets Drac introduced to Tinkles in the short film Monster Pets.
Sharky?
When Van Helsing uses the Monsterification Ray on Gigi the gerbil and then on Johnny, right next to him is a giant circular stone with an engraving of a tentacled monster, a secret reference to the Kraken that Van Helsing hypnotized and used to attack Drac and the other monsters in Hotel Transylvania 3. And just like he converted the friendly Kraken into an angry beast with the instrument of destruction in that movie, in Hotel Transylvania 4, Van Helsing's contraption also slowly turns Johnny into a raging, uncontrollable monster. And the central part of the stone with the face and surrounding wave pattern is the secret entrance to the ruins of Atlantis from the third film. It's probably no coincidence either that there's a portrait of one of Van Helsing's ancestors from the third movie just outside the elevator door at the hotel, looking on as Drac accidentally turns himself into a human with the Monsterification Ray. Drac tries to hide his transformation from Mavis, and the other monsters help by distracting her with Wayne's new dance moves. The routine he tries to do is inspired by real-life social media dance challenges, in particular the viral hit Renegade dance created by Jalailah Harmon.
Oh yeah! Watch me! Yeah!
And speaking of social media stars, the character of Party Monsters played by streamer Ninja, aka Tyler Blevins.
Oh yeah!
When Griffin becomes human, the Drac Pack is shocked to learn that he's been naked from the moment we first met him. A little hat tip to the fans of the franchise who guessed this early on.
Have you seriously been naked this whole time?
Yeah. Why would only my glasses be visible?
Notice how he also has red curly hair, as he explained in the first movie.
What's wrong with red curly hair?
Why are you getting upset?
I have red curly hair!
Now, Griffin's real human form as a balding, pot-bellied, middle-aged man caused a bit of a stir among some Hotel Transylvania fans when the movie's trailer came out. Over 30,000 people signed a petition on behalf of the Invisible Man Simps community, asking Sony Animation to make Griffin hot. And it's possible the filmmakers give a little nod to this because they actually snuck an alternate version of Griffin into the final movie. To catch this, watch really carefully during the crystal cave scene, because as broken reflections of each character appear in the giant crystals, when Griffin wanders into view, in the corner there's a design of him that looks completely different, including a full head of hair.
Don't be so uptight, I'm invis.
Man, just because you're invisible doesn't mean you get to be naked.
Gremlin Air makes a hilarious return for the 4th movie, and there's a bit of humorous lampshading that acknowledges how ridiculous it is that the plane can actually fly.
How is this plane even in the sky? Is that duct tape holding the wing together?
After arriving in South America, Johnny and Drac take a bus to the Amazon, but when Johnny's monster size slows it down, he decides to move the vehicle along by picking it up and running with it. A shout out to the old school animation The Flintstones, where Fred and his friend Barney would sometimes use foot power to literally run their car. There's a long-running joke in the franchise that Drac supposedly goes round saying Bleh-Bleh-Bleh.
Yes, fellow Dracula, there's only one way, Bleh-Bleh-Bleh.
I do not say Bleh-Bleh-Bleh.
Bleh-Bleh-Bleh, I don't know where that comes from.
And it's true that according to vampires.com, Dracula has never said the phrase either in the books or the live-action movies that came before the animated movie franchise. However, in Hotel Transylvania 4, as Drac tries to explain why he made up the monster real estate law, he says,
Johnny found out that I was giving you guys the hotel, but then he had a Johnny takeover. Escalator's name changes Bleh-Bleh-Bleh.
Although Ericka gave up her monster hunting ways at the end of the 3rd movie, when she goes in search of Drac and Johnny, she gets some of her old monster hunting contraptions out again. There's her blimp, which is full of lethal weapons.
Okay, yeah, it's a death trap.
And the tank-like armoured vehicle she drives has a license plate that reads Monster Hunter. The Jeep also has a V-shaped ornament as a nod to her family name, just like the car her great-granddaddy chased Drac with. When the gang eventually arrive at the Crystal Cave, they enter through an opening that looks like the jaws of a monster. And when the cave begins to collapse later on, as Frank and Eunice run from the falling rocks, they both say,
If he ruins my hair, I'm never gonna forgive him!
That's a funny callback to the 3rd movie where Eunice was playing volleyball and was worried about getting her hair wet.
Everybody, just please watch the hair. Watch the hair!
And the way the gang shield Mavis from the sun's rays at the end of the movie, as she runs to reach Johnny and turn him back into a human, is a neat parallel to how Drac was shielded from the sun as he raced to reach Johnny at the end of the 1st movie.
Don't worry, we got you covered.
The way the wolf pups extend in a line to provide shade for Mavis is similar to how the townspeople formed a line to cover Drac in the original film. And something you might not have noticed is that the voice of Drac changed for this 4th film from Adam Sandler, who played him in the first 3 movies, to voice actor, impressionist and YouTuber Brian Hull. Hull already voiced Drac in the short film Monster Pets, and does an excellent job in the new feature, sounding uncannily like Sandler's Drac.
Thank you, Johnny. How wonderful.
So what did you think of the 4th and final Hotel Transylvania movie and how it ended? And who are your favourite characters? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then do hit the like button, I really appreciate it. And tap left if you'd like to discover all the Easter eggs and everything you missed in Disney's Encanto and more animated movies. Thanks for watching and see you next time, yippee-ki-yay movie lovers!